Hi guys, it's Tony again with another video. This is old footage, so I have decided to just take some time and get them uploaded. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about apartment hunting in China. First of all, I wanna say that if you are moving to China to teach, especially, do not go with a company that does not cover your housing. If housing is not included, there's nothing to talk about. Typically how it works is you get an allowance every month. Again, I keep saying this, but I'm cheap. I'm gonna try and find somewhere reasonable and then see what I can pocket from the difference. A lot of people, just depends on the budget and what they're looking for. I was pretty open to living away from other foreigners and away from the city because I don't like the city. It's bad enough I was living in Shanghai my first year. So I wanted to be away from the city. I figured, whatever I need, I can take the Metro or DD. So in this video, you're gonna see a couple clips from my daughter and I just apartment hunting. I don't think we caught a lot of it, to be honest. Pretty much, I'll give you my exact scenario. I believe my housing allowance was 4,500 yuan. So I wanted to stay in that budget. And typically that would cover an apartment, but because I had my daughter, she's a teenager at the time, I needed a 2-bedroom. And like I said, some people go over it. So like some of my coworkers wanted to be in the city, they were paying like 8,000, 9,000 per month. So they would have to come out of their pocket for the difference. I wasn't interested in doing that. So my second year, and I'll tell you about that after, my second year, I even moved away from that. So typically how it works, be prepared to have your money up front though, okay? You typically have to put down 4 months, and that's pretty standard in China, which I wasn't prepared. I was prepared, but I was just like, that kind of hurt me a little bit because you do have to pay for a lot of things up front. You have to pay for your airfare, your apartment, internet, for example. You have to pay that all year. It's not per month, it's yearly. Be prepared financially. And of course, you're getting your housing allowance back after, I think, your first 90 days or 30 days, it starts kicking in with your paycheck. Just not driving around. First of all, my realtor didn't. My company had somebody that was helping us. And then the realtor that we found, in one of the clips, you'll see that we were literally going around on mopeds. That's the most efficient way. The best thing to do is if you are moving to an area, find a realtor in that area. So every time I went to another area in Shanghai, we just walked into the realtor office. And it's crazy because a lot of the realtors are just standing on the corner. It's like 10 people from that one realtor place, just standing there with signs and ready to work. And they work all day, every day. So you can always find a realtor. I chose to live very economically. So my first apartment that I ended up getting, I believe I ended up paying 4,200 for a 2-bedroom. And so I had to put down 4 months, pay my internet up front, light, water, and taxes or something else. You pay some kind of tax, I don't know. But again, it's all very affordable. If you have a job, make sure it covers your housing, okay? For the most part, everything is pretty quick. It depends on the area. Some Chinese do not like renting to foreigners because they know we're only there temporarily. And then others don't mind renting to foreigners because they know it's guaranteed money. Usually they can get a little bit more. And it's something about having that status too. Oh, you rent to a foreigner. It just depends on who your landlord is. My landlord she actually did come to the signing when I signed my lease. She actually spends half her time, so she lives part-time in Australia. She didn't speak English or anything like that. So again, luckily, you know, my job had someone there, and they try to make the leases in Chinese. So just make sure you have someone there that is there for your best interest, okay? But my landlord was pretty cool. The apartment that we ended up getting, I liked it. It was literally within walking distance to my job. And so those are the things you need to consider as well. One of my friends, she actually takes a cab. Again, we call it a DD to and from work. I wasn't interested in that. That's an additional expense. And I literally had my daughter, so I needed to be able to, if something happened, to be able to go home, or she could walk to the campus. For me, it worked. It's all in your preference. Be patient, be patient. Even though things go by quickly, like literally I had to get an apartment within 2 days, because that's the other thing. When you go there, your company is going to put you up, or should put you up, in a hotel. So they put us up in a hotel for 1 week. So we literally had to find an apartment in 1 week. I found it in less. It's just chaos, you know, because you don't understand the language, you're going through culture shock, and you're gonna see the Chinese way of doing business, you know, like in one of the clips you're gonna see it literally took like 5-6 of them arguing over what, you know, the amount and if I could get the apartment and all this stuff. So just get used to that, have some patience. My second year, I moved to a smaller city because I wanted to save more money. And again, Shanghai, beautiful city, but reminds me of New York. And I'm not a New York girl. I really don't like New York. I don't like, you know, that fast environment. So I moved to an hour and a half outside of Shanghai to a very remote city, but literally by high-speed train, it's 24 minutes. So that's how fast the train is. So again, that didn't bother me. But when I moved to a smaller city, my rent was only $2,300. So I got to keep the difference of my housing. I think I paid up my rent for like 6 months, you know, at the time, because then I just didn't have to worry about it anymore. And a smaller city still had the things, you know, it was a small city, but we still had a Starbucks, we still had our Papa John's, like certain things. If we were craving Western stuff, we could still get it, or literally jump on the high-speed train and go to the next city. So apartment hunting there was the same exact process. The company had someone taking us around. We were literally walking from apartment to apartment. And even though it was a smaller city, my apartment in this smaller city, which was Jiashan, sorry, I used to go party in Jiashan, was brand new. So, you know, a lot of these smaller cities are developing. So I ended up getting a brand new apartment for less. So again, and I was literally like on the 10th floor, beautiful view. Consider where you want to live. You know, that is important. Depends on your lifestyle. Where you live can make a big difference. And you need to decide if you want to be around locals or you want to be around people that understand you, people that look like you. Both can be interesting. You're gonna form relationships with people from other countries that you never thought you would. Like some of my good friends now are from several countries in Africa, Kenya, Zimbabwe, and now I have a very close relationship with people in Serbia. There are a lot of Serbians in my community when I moved to Jiashan. But if you want to immerse yourself in the culture, live in local, you know, it's not for everyone. It is frustrating not speaking the language, not understanding. But all those things you need to think about when you are apartment hunting. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you are still interested in teaching in China, I know we're going through a pandemic, but they are desperate. They are still moving forward, and there are job opportunities. You know, it just depends on how much you can tolerate and how open you are to moving overseas in this pandemic. And I'll tell you one thing, the money right now is great. They are offering a lot for teachers to come there. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to do better with these videos. It's Toni Blake Projects. I have a lot of things going on as far as different projects I'm working on. So getting teachers acclimating and moving to China is one of them. It is a great experience. I think it was the best experience for my daughter and myself, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So talk to you guys soon. See you in the next video.